Welcome to the Power Chat series for the SoFlo Championships post show with Alexander Carlos. Alexander, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Isabella?
Good, good. I'm excited to have you on for the first time
Thank you.
to talk about the event and a little bit more about you as a person and a martial artist. So let's kick it off with the event itself. How did you do?
I thought I did all right. To be very honest with you, it was my first event ever breaking. Give me a second. This pop up here. Sorry, I got popped up on my computer. So getting
Okay.
back to the SoFlo, I felt that I did okay. It was my first event ever. It was a great experience doing a breaking event. I really believe like I have a lot of improving to do, but as for the first time, it was pretty good. I felt good.
More and more competitions are offering breaking. Your background, you have a fight, not just a breaking, but also a fighting background. What was the rest though of the divisions like? Were you able to catch some of the other competition competitors?
Yes, I was able to catch some of the competitions. A lot of the kids fighting I saw, and I was very impressed. Very impressed with how the kids are sparring nowadays today. Obviously, old school sparring was also good back in my day. It was great. Not to take anything away from back in the day. Uh, I was very impressed with how the kids were sparring. Also, the some of the adults I was seeing them. I saw that they sparred very well as well. And overall, I really saw I see a lot of good sportsmanship, and I felt like, wow, this is what we need in this type of event.
Great to hear. So I did the pre-show for the SoFlo, talking about some of the highlights. Tell me a little bit more, maybe about your thoughts on the venue, location, things like that.
The location was great. The venue was great. Air conditioned, mats. I mean, to be honest with you, back in the old days, it was just concrete and wood floor. It doesn't exist anymore. Now it's mats. The tournament was well run.
Mm.
Um, the promoters were very nice. I mean, this was an FBBA event. I grew up in the FBBA. The FBBA has like is at a high level right now. I believe the FBBA has the potential to even expand. It was a well-run tournament. The promoter did a great job in running the entire event, and the FBBA team, everybody.
Great. I believe this is the FBBA's second year. Does that sound right? With its new
Well, when I
management?
grew up in the FBBA, it's always been around. It was created.
Okay.
I think it's one of the first promotions, martial arts karate promotions ever that ever was created.
Maybe
But
I'm
if you
thinking of
want
a
to put it
different
as the new
circuit.
version,
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
the new
second
version
year,
with, okay. All right.
yeah.
All right. Got it. Great. So just kind of leveling up the options and the leagues here. It's unique how you've been able to see it grow. Is there anything else you've noticed as a difference from, you know, previous competitions to this one?
No, I mean honestly, and I'm not an expert in point karate fighting or katas. I'll say that the katas are more modern.
Mhm.
The point karate fighting is more modern. The old school is more like hitting harder. I believe two different eras, two incredible eras. For what I came from was great era, great times. This era is a different era. But it's exciting,
Yeah.
and it might continue to evolve, in my opinion.
What made you decide this was your first time doing breaking at this competition?
Yes, exactly.
What I mean, when I obviously I feel like all martial artists do some level of breaking in their studies, kind of. But what did you learn from this experience, and do you plan on kind of going with it as the sport grows with breaking?
Well, to make it very clear, I do want to compete again in breaking. I want to compete as many tournaments as I can possibly compete
Cool.
at. I'm still young. I'm not old either. I mean, I'm young and old. I'm in the middle. I'm 47. What inspired me was when I went to the Pan American Nationals. internationals, the NASCA event. I went there to actually film. I went there as a media reporter, and I saw this team from Orlando. And I'm so sorry, Nick. Much love to you. I forgot the name of your association. So I saw that team breaking, and I was inspired, and I loved
Wow.
it, and I loved the rush. The idea of breaking, in my opinion, is performance. It's performance. It's art. Martial arts is three things. It's an art, which is what I'm talking about, a sport, and it's self-defense. It's that's why karate, martial arts is very unique. I feel like breaking is an art. It's a beautiful thing to do. It's you get a rush. Like you had a terrible week, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I had a sucky week, and you go to a tournament and you just break a whole bunch of pieces of wood and bricks, boom, 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 and you let it all out, and you just feel incredible. You recovered. That's how I feel.
Wow, and it's going to be exciting to sort of see that art grow as well, both internally and externally for you. What is sort of on your schedule or agenda when it comes to FBBA tournaments this year, or just in general?
I plan on competing in every FPBA tournament this year, and I also want to compete in the tournament that Nick, and I'm sorry, much love to you. I have to reach out to you, by the way. And his team is hosting in Orlando later this summer. I it's my plans to compete and learn. I've got to learn because I am like in the bottom of the totem pole. I got to learn from the competitors, the people
Yeah.
that I'm competing against.
Hmm.
They're going to teach me. They're going to
And I
teach me.
think what's so nice about the community in martial arts is
Yeah,
the they build each other up. We build each other up
yeah,
so that that whole everything elevates.
exactly. And I plan on learning a lot because right now I'm like a white belt in breaking. That's
Mm.
what I am. The rest of the people I'm going to be competing against, they're black belts. They're masters at this, and it's a unique sport. And I know, real quick before before we move on to the next questions, a lot of people say, "Oh, breaking boards don't hit back," and they talk a bunch of trash and a bunch of crap. Listen, it's not about when you break a piece of brick and a wood. It's an art. Let me make that very clear. It's an art. It's not about fighting people or trying to be because you break a piece of brick that means you can beat up anybody. No, it's not about that. No way. It's an art.
So you mentioned that, and you mentioned some of the comments. I know there's a viral video going, or you have a viral video. Do you read through those comments and kind of take it in? Do you respond? How do you manage? Because I know breaking does really well on social media, and regardless of what people say, people are interested to watch it.
Honestly, very good question. Honestly, I've read some of the comments, and you know what? It's too many comments. So what I brush it off because, to be honest with you, it's ignorance and that's what it's cockroaches. That's who the ones that are commenting. I don't really care. I just want to learn and compete and enjoy this part of my life now in karate, the martial arts. That's it.
Something else that you do is you teach people with special needs. How did you get into that? What exactly do you do in that aspect of your life?
Karate, the martial arts, which I grew up with, and I started doing martial arts with the great Taekwondo instructor, Master Young So-Do. I got my black belt with him in 1985. I started karate in 87. I got the black belt. Then I went to Mr. Manny Reyes Sr., Grandmaster Manny Reyes Sr. in 87, 88. And I became his student, and I got a black belt with him. And then throughout the years, I was promoted by different instructors to third degree black belt. Um, Not the belt. Like, to be honest with you, belt doesn't mean anything. It's the titles and the championships that you win, and the great work you do, and how what karate makes you in life, which is what made me get into special needs. That's how it opened up the door for me. My story, I just gave a little bit of a story from my past and how I got into the martial arts. Boom. I opened up my business in 2015, working with special needs. I started as fitness. I started offering karate, and then I do now therapy. I do a lot of OT and behavior therapy. Trained. The experience makes you a therapist. So my company, what I do is I work with aggressive special needs individuals, kids and adults. I don't take like the high functioning special needs, the ones that can live on their own and be on their own. No, I work with just like the really aggressive ones. And that's what it opened. Karate opened the door for me to get into this. And it was just a coincidence that made me get into special needs. And so then from there, karate indirectly got me into becoming a journalist, which I am now, Alexander News Show. And that's a totally different platform. Karate opens doors for a lot of people. It opens avenues for a lot of people. And you become a black belt. It's like, okay, I can own a karate school, teach karate. Not necessarily. Karate can make you money in a lot of other ways, like it's doing for me. I'm not a rich guy, but it opened the avenues for me to become a special needs therapist and coach, and now a journalist, talk show host.
Cool. Great. Great. And part of that is also the connections you make that come to you, and you going out to events like this at the SoFlo Championships,
Yes.
right? Do you feel like you made any new connections? What was the biggest takeaway from SoFlo for you?
First of all, the SoFlo gave a ring, a beautiful ring, first place prize, and I loved it. Second of all, um, just connecting with some of the old school teachers and instructors, and I met some new people. It was a great vibe, and those connections that I made that day, they're going to see me again,
Yeah.
and it'll start building.
Hmm.
They'll start knowing me again, and that's where I'm at right now. Um, I have nothing negative to say. It's all everybody that was there was like really cool. It was an awesome vibe. I loved it.
Great. I'm sure that's music to the ears of the promoter, right? They put so much effort on to put the event, and then it's like
Yes.
everyone leaves, they post their pictures, but this is a good opportunity for them to hear some of that praise, which seems well deserved. Great.
Yes, I totally agree, and I look forward to competing again in the next FBBA event. I
Great.
look forward
Okay.
to it
Awesome. Yeah, and of course, as
and
usual,
learning,
most of
learning.
learn yes, and learning. Most of those events are Point Butter Live approved, and so I will do the pre-show and give everyone the information they need to know as well for the next upcoming ones and things
Yes,
like that.
absolutely,
All right,
absolutely, and you do a great job, by the way.
Alexander Carlos, thank you so much for coming on to the Power Chat
No,
series, and
thank you very
congratulations.
much.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I'm super excited as you kind of explore and navigate and learn the breaking world sort of in real time as it continues to grow.
Absolutely, no, thank you for bringing me on the show, and I just look forward to continuing this journey of learning this new phase of the martial arts, and eventually, I also want to mention that I will get back. I'm going to get into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as well. I'm going to learn that too. So
Wow.
you never stop learning in the martial arts. Never stop
Hmm.
learning. But
Great. Well,
thank you for
excited to
bringing me
see
on
it.
the show.
Yep. All right. Thank you for coming on, and be sure to let us know how you do as you traverse this journey.
Definitely.